So I've got a great collection of citrus fragrances for you guys today, but citrus fragrances with a twist, musky citrus fragrances. So meaning lots of citruses in this fragrance, or the fragrances I'm going to talk to you about today, in addition to musky notes as well. It's a great collection of fragrances, and it is still summer, by the way. And for me, especially living in California and to the places I travel during this time of the year, summer goes until early October. Like here in California, we also get like really warm October days. So you can wear these fragrances pretty much up until then, or all year round if you want something refreshing. So find out about musky citrus fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about musky citrus fragrances. Are you into this style? I'm assuming a lot of you enjoy citrus fragrances and wear them when it's really hot outside, warm outside. But with the addition of the musky notes here in the fragrances, it does prolong the life of the fragrance if it's just straightforward citruses. So citrus notes typically are, bergamot, lime, grapefruit, orange, tangerine, mandarin, lemons. All of these are featured along with citrus floral notes, and of course we can also add in the Petitgrain note, the leaves of the bitter orange tree. And then the musky notes typically are, musk, white musk, could feature notes like Ambrette, Cashmeran, ambroxan, even other kind of synthetic molecular musky notes to extend the life of the fragrances and create a muskiness in the fragrance. So really wonderful collection. It's a rank list. Let's go ahead and get started with the House of MFK. This is Aqua Celestia from the House of MFK. This is a rank list, and this is at number 15. I've got 3 fragrances from MFK in this video. They do have a lot of great musky citrus focused fragrances. This one is a kind of an unusual musky citrus fragrance. Also leaning a bit feminine because it has this mimosa note. Has lots of mimosa, musks, blackcurrant buds, lime for the citrus usage here, and an addition of mint as well. Mint giving you that aromatic herbal touch. And for me, this fragrance acts a bit like a mojito, but powdery, musky, a bit fruity, and very citrusy musky. Are you guys familiar with Aqua Celestia? Are you a fan of it? I still haven't really dug into the extrait version of that fragrance, but once in a while I crave Aqua Celestia and I like the way it smells. It's not one of my all-time favorites. That's why it's ranked at number 15. But moving on to a brand spanking new US-based house, it's Free Yourself. And this is a fragrance called O. This is it right here. O is that kind of a traditional eau de cologne style fragrance, maybe Neroli Portofino and that kind of idea with citruses, citrus floral notes, and of course the leaves and things like that. But this one has a bit of a twist as well, in addition to the musky notes and of course some ambery woody dry down. This has grapefruit, bergamot, lemons, musk, orange blossom, Petitgrain, aquatic notes, blackcurrant, gardenia, pink pepper, along with the amber and the woods. It's a very fresh, invigorating fragrance, really wonderful. It wakes up your senses. It just is like that kind of a fragrance. It's a very uplifting and very happy fragrance. And again, as I said, it's kind of similar to that kind of a Neroli Portofino like fragrance, but this does have some additional things happening in here. The addition of the grapefruit adds a bit of a zing and spice to the fragrance, a bit of a kick, because grapefruit has that, generally it's that kind of a bitterness. But this also has an aquatic note, so it's a bit watery throughout, but really wonderful, very fresh wearing fragrance. I think it's perfect for a great citrusy, musky or musky citrus fragrance. So this is O from the House of Free Yourself. Next, going to the House of Miles WAMBAUGH. This is a fragrance called Sure Shot, this one right here. So this is a sort of underrated house. I discovered it in 2019. The fragrances all look like they're kind of like big lighters, as you can see. And all of the fragrances are created by Dominique Ropion and fellow perfumer at IFF, Jean-Louis Suizac. But this is a lot of Cashmeran with a lot of bergamot. There's also orange here, cardamom, marine accord, musk, and vetiver. So eventually it's very musky. Not only does it have musk in the dry down, but it also has that Cashmeran note in the dry down as well. So it creates an overwhelming musky experience with the bergamot and orange, which doesn't necessarily go very tart and tangy here. The bergamot has that kind of a very smooth floral citrus note, and then the sweet orange in here, and creates for a really wonderful, very cozy and relaxed musky citrus or citrus musky fragrance. So this is Sure Shot from the House of Miles WAMBAUGH. The next fragrance going to the house of JUSBOX, and I've got 2 JUSBOX fragrances here, and the 2 fragrances were launched as a duo. Remember, JUSBOX fragrances are inspired by music, and these 2 fragrances I'm going to talk to you about here are all or both inspired by classical music. This is called Good Morning at number 12. And Good Morning is basically that fresh feeling you like in the morning, breezy, a bit sea breezy as well, but also musky. And with this fragrance, we've got sea breeze, magnolias, tangerine, violet leaves, musk, and cashmeran. So in the end, it's very musky, of course, both with the musk and the cashmeran note, but you've got the juicy citrusy touches of the tangerine in here, but then that ozonic touches of the violet leaves gives you that very crisp, fresh, and watery effect that ozonic notes in violet leaves creates. Along the way, there's the, the sea touch, the marine note, or the sea breeze that is in here. Really wonderful offering. I prefer the other one a little more, but I put that at number 12. So that is Good Morning from the house of JUSBOX. Up next, going to the house of REINE de SABA, one of the latest fragrances from this house. It's called Secret de Musk. Secret de Musk is a very citrusy musk fragrance. This is one of the latest from the house of REINE de SABA, also created by Jean-Christophe Herrel. I think you can see his name right there. He created the fragrance Eventus, if you haven't heard or aren't aware of. He's also at IFF along with Dominique Ropion and Jean-Louis Suizac. But this is a very musky fragrance with the addition of citruses. You've also got aromatics in here. There's lemons, ambrette, styrax, lavender, patchouli, ambroxan, vetiver, pink pepper, musk, and nutmeg. There's a powdery effect here, and I feel like it's created with the ambrette note. For sure, you'll notice the lavender that's in here for that herbal floral touch. But there's an earthy, woody, ambery dry down when this is drying down. Along the way, there's some spices that come in as well. Really gorgeous fragrance. It's not one of my all-time favorites from this house. I prefer Reine Makeda. That's one of my favorites from that house. But this is a really wonderful, very fresh and powdery, musky citrus fragrance. So that is Secret de Musk from the house of REINE de SABA. Then we've got the fragrance from the house of BDK. It's Villa Neroli, this one right here. This is once again similar to O from... It's called O from Free Yourself. Kind of similar idea, but with the BDK Villa Neroli. It does get a bit ambery and sweet vanillic when it's drying down, whereas that one is very, very fresh. And it does have a bit of amber and woods, but this is more sweet, kind of giving me the reminder of something like Love Don't Be Shy. But it's neroli, orange blossom, petitgrain, lemons, vanilla, vetiver, labdanum, patchouli, cashmeran, and ambroxan. Sure, it has the, musky touches with the cashmeran and ambroxan, but up top it's a very fresh eau de cologne style, breezy, citrusy, musky fragrance. Really wonderful offering here from this house. One of the best from the Fresh collection, although I do also enjoy Citrus Riviera. And then they have a third fragrance called Ciel d'Argent, which is a salty fragrance. But this is definitely very calming and cozy with the whole, vanillic, sweet, ambery touches when it's drying down. So this is Villa Neroli from the house of BDK for a citrusy, musky, or musky citrus fragrance. Moving on to the house of ELECTIMUSS London. This is TRAJAN or TRAJAN, this one right here, or TRAJAN, however you want to say it. This is Saffron, which is this spicy note that also gives you a leathery effect in fragrances, but it's got a lot of blood oranges here, ambergris, mandarin orange, lavender, sage, oak moss, lemons, cedar, and bergamot. Sure, it's a very juicy, citrusy effect happening here, but you also have a lot of muskiness, and you're giving us, or they're giving us, the effect of Baccarat Rouge with citruses in here. It's a really long-lasting fragrance for me, and it smells fantastic. I love the way this smells, and I like the combination or the idea of the juicy citruses that are mixed in with that kind of Baccarat Rouge-like effect or DNA that's in here. And that's mostly created from the ambergris that's in here and the saffron note. That's giving us that kind of and the oak moss as well. Either way, TRAJAN or TRAJAN from the house of ELECTIMUSS London. And then the second fragrance from the house of JUSBOX is Spring Dance, this one right here. And Spring Dance is also kind of a eau de cologne style fragrance, but this one has the addition of jasmine in the notes in addition to like the orange blossom and things like that. Very, really wonderful offering with jasmine sambac. There's grapefruit, rosemary, honeysuckle, musk, and amber. Fantastic fragrance. Really, really invigorating, really refreshing, very musky. Very citrus floral here. We've got a very citrus floral effect, even though you've got the grapefruit in here. It's giving you that kind of a zingy spiciness with the whole citrusy juiciness. but fantastic fragrance when they mix it in with the Jasmine Sambac. You know, the Jasmine Sambac does have a bit of a citrus floral effect, even though it's a bit different. But for me, sometimes I mix Jasmine up with the Orange Blossom because they remind me of one another, whereas Orange Blossom is a bit more citrusy and there's hardly any citruses with the Jasmine Sambac or Jasmine note. But when it's mixed in with citruses, they'll confuse you a little bit. At number 7, we're going to the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian once again. This is Petite MATIN. This has been a great fragrance since 2016. This, I can't believe, is almost 10 years old. Launched in 2016, as I said. It launched with Grand Soir, and it was a really fantastic offering. This along with Grand Soir, launched, and then I believe MFK were purchased by LVMH. But if you like a musky, citrusy fragrance, and it's lemons here, they use a lot of lemons with this one, along with Orange Blossom. But it's not very astringent, it's not tart, it's very cozy, it's very relaxed. There's a bit of sweetness here in the lemon, so it's lemons, Orange Blossom, musk, lavender, ambroxan, and hawthorn. The ambroxan and the musk are creating the muskiness here, but then you've got the lemons and Orange Blossom for a really juicy, floral, citrusy kind of a combo. Really wonderful offering. Petite MATIN at number 7. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Then we're going to the house of Ormonde JAYNE. It's Tanger, this one right here. Once again, this is a musky citrus fragrance. Are you familiar with it? I believe this was discontinued or shelved for a while. They brought it back. This is North African Neroli, Italian Mandarin, and Italian Bergamot, along with Cashmeran, Dry Amber, Madagascar Vanilla, Moss, Ylang Ylang, Rose Petals. There's a lot of flowers in here, a bit of tropical flower as well, but the African Neroli, the North African Neroli is what I'm referring to, is a nice combo with the Mandarin Orange and the Bergamot as well. It's very juicy, but also on the dry side, and they do say dry amber. I wonder if that's what's giving us the dryness of the fragrance. It doesn't act as juicy as the previous fragrance from MFK, but really musky with the whole Cashmeran thing in here, and there's some sweetness along the way with when you get to the dry down with the vanilla as well. Really wonderful offering from Ormonde JAYNE. It's Tanger. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. This next one's more of a fruity citrus musky fragrance, but I'm featuring it here because I really love the way it smells. It's Greenleaf from the house of Parfums de Marly at number 5. Do you like this one? It's full of Cashmeran. That's what's giving us the whole musky effect here. And the Cashmeran has the effect of dryness and also, you know, amber, woods, musk all mixed in together. And even though it has Cashmeran, this is a very juicy, wet fragrance. You'll experience it. Like the previous one was very dry to me. This Greenleaf is overly juicy. It's almost like you're crunching into a very juicy, drippy apple and you've got the juice running down your arms and hands and things like that. But a really, really wonderful fragrance featuring green apples. There's oak moss here, musk, bergamot, Cashmeran, Petitgrain, pomerose, amberwood. One of the best from Parfums de Marly. It's not necessarily anything groundbreaking, but as a smell, it's fantastic. Then we're going to the house of Thomas Cosmala. It's number 1, Tonic Blanc, this one right here. So Tonic Blanc is a kind of that whole eau de cologne style fragrance once again, but the addition of an overdose of ambroxan, which is giving you the whole musky effect here, along with musk. Ambroxan has a very dry, dusty, ambery, woody, musky effect in fragrances. Here there's an overdose of it, so it has this nice balance of citruses, citrus floral notes, and a whole overdose of ambroxan. But neroli, bergamot, orange, bergamot flower blossom, orange flower blossom, mock orange, cedar, musk, oak moss, sandalwood. You'll be reminded a little bit of their fragrance called number 4 Après l'Amour, but just imagine that with citruses. This is number 1 Tonic Blanc from the house of Thomas Cosmala. Up next, going to the house of Clive Christian. It's E Cashmere Musk, this one right here. So when I sampled this fragrance at ZGO Perfumery, I thought, wow, I've been wanting to sample it. It sounds great. It's cashmere, Cashmeran, cashmere wood. But this is uber citrusy. There's so much citrus in here. It's a nice balance of this muskiness along with juicy citruses. There's a lot of bergamot here. There's blood orange along with Floriste Fusion, Cashmeran, ambroxan, musk, skyak wood, ginger, ambrette, blood orange as I said, and moss. Super fantastic, but very, very fresh wearing. It's very, very musky and very, very citrusy. Nice combo, and you've got along the way some spices and floral notes and woods as well. Very nice fragrance. I love the way it smells. It wears very fresh, and it's a perfect fragrance to wear in the summertime. But next, going to the house of D'Orsay, it's LB. I'm just going to say the initials here. I'm not going to butcher the French name. But man, this stuff smells amazing. And this is created by Fanny Ball. And she did a great job again, once again, with Orange Blossom and Neroli and fragrance in a fragrance. But to me, it's so super fantastic smelling because I really love the way it smells. It just smells perfect. It's lots of Orange Blossom with Neroli. There's Cashmeran, Iris, Aldehydes, Bergamot, Lemons, Moss, and Ambroxan. It does have a powdery effect, by the way, and I like that about it. Even though I prefer my fragrances juicy, drippy, this one does act juicy, drippy, but the Iris kind of tones that down, giving you the powdery effect. But it's a wonderful, wonderful citrus fragrance. Really musky and very citrusy with not only the flowers, but the juiciness of the citrus as well. So that's LB from the house of D'Orsay. And then the last fragrance at number 1 is going back to the house of MFK or Maison Francis KURKDJIAN. It's Aqua Universalis Forte. I've been a fan of this since almost 10 years now, and I've still enjoyed the way it smells. To me, it smells very musky for sure. There's definitely a very musk effect in this with lemons, and then also giving me a laundry clean effect as well, which is really, really unique when it comes to fragrances. I like the whole laundry-like effect, and I think it's the musk mixing with the lemons that's doing that. But it's featuring Sicilian citron or lemons, Egyptian jasmine, musky notes, Calabrian bergamot, white blossoms, rose absolute. Fantastic fragrance, guys. This is really, really great. One of the best from the house of MFK, and I love the way it smells. Are you guys familiar with it? Aqua Universalis Forte? Let me know, put a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts on these musky citrus fragrances. Are you a fan of this style? Do you enjoy citruses and musk fragrances? Let me know, put a comment down below, and if you are aware of any others that you enjoy, you love wearing, add a comment and let me know what it is. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.